Listen, it's Space Jam. When I was 12 years old, I needed inspiration where I was growing up. Michael Jordan was one of those people who gave me inspiration, along with my mother and some musicians, some other athletes, some other people, predominant people in my community. But when I think back at just watching Space Jam and always having a love for Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes, and then you add on the fact that Michael Jordan, one of my favorite, inspirations growing up, I felt like it was a made match in heaven for myself. So I was excited from the very beginning.
I think the original Space Jam was, as a movie, had an impact on me as seeing Michael Jordan star in that movie and seeing an athlete at the caliber of Michael was expand and do even more than just be an awesome basketball player, but look to become a movie star. So I think the impact that that movie has had on my career is unexplainable. It really is part of the DNA of why LeBron and I have thought the way we thought. That is one of the key moments and stamps in time that proved to us, even as kids, unconsciously knowing that an athlete is capable of doing many more things.
Get your body into it.
Hey, my turn.
No, you gotta play D first. You don't get
Hey,
offense.
like,
No,
you gotta play D first.
you gotta play defense first. You don't get it right on offense. Watch out. Watch out.
No, absolutely. I mean, you just said it best. I mean, it's an honor for me to be a part of the Space Jam, world, as we see it. And, for kids, when it was my kids, when I was growing up, be able to see Space Jam 1, and now for me to be able to reintroduce it to kids now today and show them how unbelievable the Looney Tunes are and how great our sport of basketball is as well. But there's some things that's going to happen along this movie that a lot of people will catch a lot of people off guard, and that's the excitement behind it.
I think now is the right time to reintroduce Space Jam because we landed on the story that's really amazing. And as everyone knows, when you're making a movie or TV or anything, the story is what really matters. And we worked and iterated on the story for a long time and landed in a place on a story that I truly believe LeBron, as an actor, as a basketball player, as a human, as a father, as a son, is uniquely positioned to be the center of this story more than anyone else in the world. And I really believe when audiences see the movie, the story will resonate with them in a major way. There's big set pieces, there's lots of fantastic things and fantastical things that happen in the movie, but at the heart, the story is what matters, and we landed on the right time. And I think this time in the world that we're living in, this story will resonate with people even more.
Hey, baby.
I think, there's a couple twists and things that happen along the movie that I won't really talk about, but I think it has a lot to do with getting the Looney Tunes back where they belong. That's one. And also it's a thing called parenthood in our world that goes on between myself and my son. And the ups and downs and ins and outs of trying to balance being a parent, but also being a listener at the same time, and understanding that even though you as the parent feel like you always have the right answer, sometimes you need to just kind of listen before you miss out on the gifts that your kids may have. So we're going to have a lot of fun with the movie. Obviously, all the great Looney Tune characters and so many other different things that goes on with the movie, but the parenthood part of it is going to be something that I am looking forward to.
The I disapprove look, sort of like this. You don't talk behind my back?
Nah.
The legacy of the original will always be in place, but this is truly a new film, a new story, a new idea. The tunes are obviously still a big part of the movie, but the tunes are in a different place than they were when that movie was made. LeBron's different than Michael Jordan. The story is completely different. There'll still be a big basketball game, of course, to that's the only way we're honoring the first one. But this is a new movie, a new take, a new story, and I think this is a story that will resonate with audience as much as the first one did, if not more. But the first one, it was what it was, and we're leaving it as it was. We didn't want to mess with the legacy of that film because it has a fantastic legacy. So we wanted them to do a new take on the story, and we have different characters. The Tunes are Bugs is still Bugs, and Daffy's still Daffy, but they're in a different place. And we have LeBron, who's a different human being in a different place in his life than Michael Jordan was.
I mean, I think that's going to be the greatest thing about the whole movie is how many different effects that we have throughout the whole movie. Like you just said, the visual effects to the live action to the 2D and everything, that the animation, everything is going to be live action here. There's going to be animation here. There's going to be 2D here. There's going to be so much going on in the movie, and I think it's going to just continue to keep the audience and the kids and the families off balance and make them want to see more and more from each scene, from one scene to the next.
I think watching LeBron step into the role and really embrace this and take it on is just further proof that I've known for a long time is that it's really in him to be honestly a movie star. He is a natural in front of the camera, but also his brain is like a computer. I mean, he can really understand and compute things at a level that I've never seen anyone else in my life. He can learn something on Monday and apply it on Tuesday, where even the smartest people, it takes them months to apply something. They can learn it fast. Even myself, I believe I can learn very fast, but it takes me a long time to apply. He can learn and apply on the fly, on the go, and that skill that he possesses is really showing in making this movie. It's really on display every day as he's on set, working with actors and co-stars who are not there, who are going to be animated later, or going to be put in as CGI later. But he's really embraced it and he's loving it, and I think he shows up to work every day treating this the same way he treats his day job of being an NBA basketball player.
Yeah, I mean that's the great thing about for me as my real day job. Being in the NBA, is I get the opportunity to build relationships with a lot of great athletes in my sport, a lot of WNBA players as well. So to be able to have Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Diana Taurasi, Mecca Agumake, Damian Lillard, just to have them a part of this process, it's like I said, it's humbling for me. Because I know how many people I looked up to when I was a kid, and I used to watch those figures. Like when I was younger, it was like Michael Jordan and Cheryl Swoops, or Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo, and Anthony Penny Hardaway, and Deion Sanders, all these great characters, Ken Griffey Jr., Bo Jackson. I used to be in all of them, and for me now to be in a position where I can, reach out and ask these great role models and the great things that they do both on and off the floor to be a part of such a legendary process. It was, thank you guys. Thank you.
And then I don't lean up until I see Wiley starts to.
Right. You start maybe even smelling them coming.
Yeah.
I smell the fire. Listen.
In this iteration, we wanted WNBA players because they are stars. They represent the whole of basketball. We wanted to represent all of basketball, not just the NBA, but all of basketball. And I think in doing that, you have to include the NBA and the WNBA. The WNBA now is at a point where it's very recognizable. Their stars are extremely recognizable and mean something to the whole culture of basketball. And we wanted this movie to represent that.
James, I just thought you'd be taller somehow.
These graphics are unreal.
Right?
Don't compliment this place. What's going on? And who are you, man?
You're right. Manners, forgive me. I am King Al-G Rhythm.
Yeah, I think it was amazing. This film, obviously, as I said earlier, takes place in the Warner Brothers server, so you get to see all of the IP within Warner Brothers and the history of the company lives on this server. So if you think about that, there's a server on the lot that holds all the IP, Casablanca, Game of Thrones, the Looney Tunes, the DC world, and endless, right? And in the film, when LeBron first enters the server, he has to go through all of these worlds because the tunes are all over the place and he's trying to put them back together and he doesn't know where he's at. So he's trying to find where's his son. So going through and seeing LeBron in the world of Casablanca and in the world of Game of Thrones was just incredible. And it was another area for his full range of acting to be on display. So it was amazing to see.
I think it has a huge mass appeal for two reasons. One, it attracts the families all across the board. From a kid could be 2 years old to the grandma that's watching the kid that's in her 60s or 70s can all watch the Looney Tunes and watch cartoons and feel joy. And then basketball. Basketball is the greatest sport in my opinion in the world, and we are all over the world. You look at the NBA and the WNBA, you have people not only from America but from Asia, from Europe, all over the continents, Australia everywhere you can name it. And so that's how I was able to tap into so many different households, because the game of basketball just resonates with everyone in the world. And then when you add cartoons and laughter and things of that nature, everyone, it's all about smiling, being happy, and laughing. I think those are the ingredients to success.